In the opulent kingdom of Thailand, a tale unfolded that cast a piercing light in the complexities of power, desire, and the human spirit. It revolved around the enigmatic figure of King Maha Vajiralongkorn, whose insatiable pursuit of pleasure brought about an unexpected twist in the lives of his 20 concubines. Within the walls of the grand palace, where wealth and luxury intertwined, the king's desire knew no bounds. The concubines, carefully chosen for their beauty, were thrust into a world of contradiction and torment. Adorned in silken robes and adorned with jewels, they existed to fulfill the king's every whim, their own dreams and identities fading into the background. Yet, behind their delicate smiles, a shared yearning for genuine connection and liberation simmered. Whispers echoed through the palace corridors, secrets exchanged in hushed tones as the concubines found solace in each other's support. United by their struggles, they embarked on a journey of resilience and self-discovery, defying the king's grip on their lives. Their courageous rebellion would ultimately challenge the very foundations of the kingdom, unraveling the delicate balance of power and reshaping their destinies. King Maha Vajiralongkorn's history. In the grand kingdom of Thailand, a tale unfolded that captured the hearts and minds of the people. It revolved around the enigmatic figure of King Maha Vajiralongkorn, whose insatiable appetite for pleasure brought about a paradoxical twist to the lives of his 20 concubines. The kingdom was known for its opulence, its vibrant culture, and its deep reverence for tradition. At its helm stood King Maha Vajiralongkorn, a man whose position bestowed upon him immense power and authority. The king's life was a tapestry of luxury, surrounded by the trappings of his station. His command over the land was unquestioned, his word held as law. To the outside world, it seemed he had everything a man could desire. But behind the gilded facade of the palace, a different story unfolded. Within the walls, the king indulged in a life of excess and debauchery. His pleasures knew no bounds, and the concubines were caught in the crosshairs of his insatiable desires. The 20 concubines led lives fraught with silent struggles and hidden anguish. Each woman carried her own burden, grappling with the paradoxical existence she had been thrust into. The struggles of concubines. Behind closed doors, their days blended into a monotonous routine of serving the king's desires. Their bodies, adorned with ornate jewelry and silken robes, became mere vessels for his pleasure. The weight of the duty pressed upon them, eroding their spirits with each passing day. Their souls longed for connection, for genuine affection and understanding. Yet, their interactions with the king remained superficial, devoid of emotional depth. Their desires, their dreams, and their individuality were left unacknowledged, buried beneath the weight of the tradition and power. Whispers filled the corridors, carrying tales of whispered conversations shared in the depths of the night. In their clandestine meetings, the concubines found solace in each other's company, seeking refuge from their shared torment. The bond between concubines. They shared stories of lost loves, abandoned aspirations, and the stolen moments of joy they once treasured. They yearned to break free from the suffocating confines of their roles, to reclaim their autonomy and pursue their own dreams. But the path to liberation was treacherous, riddled with the fear of retribution and uncertainty of what lay beyond the palace walls. Yet, fueled by a collective determination, they found strength in unity. They clandestinely learned to read and write, exchanging forbidden books under the veil of darkness. They explored art and poetry, allowing their minds to soar above the limitations imposed upon them. They became a sisterhood, bound together by their shared struggles and their indomitable spirits. The concubines silently endured the torment, summoning every ounce of resilience they possessed. Each night, as they lay upon their sumptuous beds, they held their dreams close to their hearts, nurturing the flickering flames of hope. Their struggles were not in vain. Through their clandestine efforts, they carved paths toward their emancipation. They discovered their voices and found the strength to assert their worth. With each small act of defiance, they chipped away at the walls that held them captive, inching closer to a life of freedom and self-determination. Their struggles became the seeds of resilience that sprouted in their hearts, transforming them from objects of desire to fierce, independent beings. Through their courage, they emerged from the shadows, reclaiming their identities and embracing their own destinies. The concubines, chosen for their beauty and grace, found themselves thrust into a world of contradictions. On the surface, their lives appeared enviable, surrounded by luxury and coveted by many. Yet, within their delicate smiles, a shared torment festered. Each day, they were summoned to the king's chambers, expected to fulfill his every whim and fantasy. Their purpose was reduced to the fulfillment of his desires, and their identities overshadowed by the weight of their prescribed roles. As the years passed, the concubines yearned for something more. Concubines' wishes. They longed for genuine connection, for moments of intimacy that transcended the boundaries of their roles. Their dreams, their aspirations, and their individuality were stifled within the palace walls. They yearned to break free from the chains that bound them to the king's desires. In the depths of the night, whispers of discontent echoed through the corridors. The concubines found solace in each other's company, their shared struggles forging a bond that would become their lifeline. In clandestine meetings, they confided in one another, sharing their dreams, their fears, and their aspirations. Their unity became a source of strength, a glimmer of hope in the midst of their collective suffering. As they delved deeper into their shared journey, the concubines began to recognize their worth extended far beyond the king's desires. They quietly sought knowledge and education, using their hidden moments to learn about the world beyond the palace walls. They discovered literature, philosophy, and the arts, fueling a fire within them that burned brighter with each passing day. Empowered by their growing knowledge and their newfound sisterhood, the concubines embarked on a path of self-discovery and empowerment. They found solace in creative expression, using poetry, painting, and music to voice their hidden desires and fears. Their voices, once silenced, began to resonate through the walls of the palace. The concubines' transformation did not go unnoticed. Whispers reached the king's ears, stirring a mix of curiosity and insecurity within him. He had grown accustomed to his power over the concubines, their subservience fueling his ego. But now, he saw glimpses of rebellion, of a newfound strength that threatened to shatter the fragile equilibrium that he had carefully cultivated. In his fear and paranoia, the king sought to tighten his grip on the concubines. He imposed stricter rules, isolating them further from the outside world. Yet, the flames of their rebellion burned even brighter. Their shared resilience and determination only deepened as they faced the king's attempts to suppress their spirits. As the concubines continued to blossom, they became a force to be reckoned with. Their newfound knowledge and creativity awakened a hunger for liberation that could not be quelled. They secretly forged connections with the people beyond the palace walls, planting seeds of dissent and awakening a desire for change within the hearts of the citizens. News of the concubines' resilience reached the ears of the king's subjects, stirring a ripple of rebellion throughout the kingdom. The people, burdened by their own struggles and yearning for freedom, found inspiration in the concubines' defiance. The rise of the concubines. The once silent voices of the oppressed began to rise, echoing the concubines' call for liberation. Faced with mounting pressure from within and outside the palace, the king's veneer of invincibility began to crumble. He realized that the pleasure he had sought so relentlessly had become a double-edged sword, turning his once admired position into a prison of his own making. The very concubines he had exploited were now the catalysts for his downfall. In a moment of reckoning, the king confronted the concubines, seeking to regain control over their spirits. But they stood united, their collective strength unwavering. No longer bound by fear, they asserted their autonomy, demanding the freedom to determine their own destinies. In the face of their unyielding resolve, the king's power waned. He realized that the pleasure he had pursued at the expense of others had become his own personal hell. The concubines, once seen as mere objects of desire, had transcended their prescribed roles to become symbols of resilience and empowerment. The kingdom transformed around them. The concubines stepped into the light of their own liberation. They reclaimed their identities, their dreams, and their agency, embracing a future where their worth was defined by their own terms. As the echoes of their defiance reverberated through the kingdom, the story of the King of Thailand and his 20 concubines reached its climactic conclusion. The journey of these women, once bound by the chains of the king's desires, transformed them into resilient warriors, reclaiming their identities and reshaping their own destinies. Their shared struggles, whispered in secret and nurtured in unity, became a powerful force that ignited a spark of rebellion within the hearts of the people. The once silent voices of the oppressed found courage, Mirroring the concubines' pursuit of liberation, the tale serves as a stark reminder of the complexities of power, shedding light on the consequences of unchecked desire and the indomitable strength of the human spirit. It calls upon us to question the societal norms and challenge systems of oppression, urging us to prioritize autonomy and self-determination. The concubines' journey inspires us to embrace resilience and unity in the face of adversity, as they defied the expectations and shattered the constraints of their prescribed roles. Their story echoes through time, leaving an indelible mark in the annals of history, reminding us that even in the darkest of circumstances, the human will can rise above, reshaping the narrative and carving a path towards freedom.